All right, good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beck Taylor, and I serve as president of Whitworth University. We're so grateful that you've joined us this afternoon, at least Spokane time, to hear a little bit more about the university and to ask any questions that you might have. We certainly are hopeful that the next few minutes can be informative and useful for you. I'm joined today by three other Whitworth employees. I'd like to introduce them just very quickly, and then you'll hear from them in just a little bit. On my far right, your far left, is Elam Atisu. Elam is a graduate of Whitworth University, 2011 graduate, I think, and serves as an admissions counselor in our Office of Admissions. Next to him is Sue Jackson. Sue is the director of our International Education Center here at Whitworth. Right next to me is Marie Whalen. Of course, you know Marie. You've been in contact with Marie quite a bit through the admissions process, and she serves as our Assistant Director of International Admissions. And as I said, my name is Beck Taylor, and I serve as President. So what we're going to do today is just say a few things about international education and how excited we are that you're coming to Whitworth, share a little bit of information, and then really our main goal today is to answer any questions that you might have. We're only about a month and a half away from move-in, and we're very excited. It's been a busy summer on the Whitworth campus. We're anticipating your arrival. And we're very excited that you're going to come and be a part of the Whitworth community. Let me start by saying how committed Whitworth is to international education. Whitworth was founded in 1890 here in the Northwest of the United States, and since that time, nearly 125 years, Whitworth has been committed to an education of mind and heart. Our mission statement says that we want to equip our graduates not only to be relevant in the world, to become equipped to be leaders in our world with an outstanding education, but also to live through our mission to equip graduates to honor God, follow Christ, and serve humanity. Embedded in that mission is a real commitment to the global community. And since 1890, Whitworth has been host to international students. And we are animated by, motivated by a strategic plan here at Whitworth that you'll hear a lot about when you come, called the Whitworth 2021 plan. But there's a particular part of that 2021 plan I want to discuss today, and that is we seek to create global citizens here at Whitworth. Whether that be students like yourselves who are coming from other countries to study in the United States, or to equip our domestic students here to go out into the world. And we do that in a variety of ways. We try to do that through a global curriculum where our students are exposed to many global issues throughout the course of their time here at Whitworth. We also do that through co-curricular activities. We try to create strong community, for example, among all of our students, and particularly our international students. We have a beautiful international student center here, an intercultural center, which is really a hub on our campus where many students from a variety of different nationalities, ethnicities, backgrounds come together to find community, to enjoy one another, and to continue in the learning process here at Whitworth. We have a number of international student clubs and organizations that bring culture and ethnicity and nationality to our campus. We have a major event in the fall called our International Education Week, culminated by a wonderful dinner and festival where we celebrate the international culture of our campus and our international students. Those are just a few of the ways that we seek to serve international students and that our campus is enriched by your presence. The last thing I would say is that you are very important to us. We feel like your presence on our campus brings so much to us as a learning community. We are eager to learn from you, to hear your perspectives, to find out more about you. And we are eager for you to learn from us as well as you engage our culture and life in the inland northwest of the United States and the American educational system. So on behalf really of the entire university, let me just say how excited I am that you're coming, And we certainly hope that our time together this afternoon can be useful and informative to you. So welcome. I'd like to turn it over to Sue Jackson now for some comments.
Okay, thank you so much, Beck. As this might be one very different thing that you're not used to yet, and that is how very involved Whitworth staff, and especially our president, are with our student community. Most of you come from universities where you might not even know who your president is. You're already hearing from Beck now. You're going to hear from him when you arrive. You're going to be in contact with him throughout your time at Whitworth, and he loves to be in contact with you. So do we, and so do your professors, actually. And we will tell you more about that during orientation. But this is just a mark of how important you are to us, and how we are a community where everybody really knows everybody else on this campus. So, yeah. So my welcome to you. I've been in contact with the exchange students among you, but probably not the others. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all, and yeah, I have some questions of yours that I will be answering later, but now it's time for Marie to talk to you.
Well, I'm so glad to be able to welcome you in a way that isn't through email, for example. I've communicated so much with many of you through email, through Skype, through Facebook, but it's really great for me to be able to get together with our president, with our director of International Center, and one of our grad students to welcome you, and really just to reiterate how important you are to us. You are coming in as an incredibly diverse class, students coming from Mongolia, South Africa, Brazil, Norway, and many places in between. And when Beck, our president, talked about our strategic plans and our goals to create global citizens, you're not only part of that because we want to help you to become leaders in the international communities in your countries, but you are also a key part of making this strategic plan possible. When you come, you will bring your cultural perspectives, you will bring different traditions, different ways of looking at the world that will be incredibly interesting to your classmates, to your dorm mates. And this campus is really a campus about sharing perspectives. So I really encourage you, when you do come here, don't be shy, but talk to your dorm mates, talk to your professors, talk in your classes. They will have lots of questions about you. Why do you do this? What kind of foods do you eat? What's your perspective on this political situation coming from Ukraine, for example? So these, what you bring to us is far beyond just another group of students. You bring your presence, your heart, your spirit, and we will learn as much from you as we hope you will learn from us. Thank you.
Great. So I have the privilege of speaking to you, and one of the things I really enjoy is just the fact that I've been here for 6 years, and I've enjoyed my 6 years on this campus. And there are two things I really want to touch on quickly. The first is relationships. Beck talked a little bit about that, and Marie pointed to a few things in regards to that fact. We value relationships. We want you to enjoy your time here, and not just go through it, get your degree, and go work somewhere. We want you to know people here. We want them to know you. And so if there's anything else that you want to be to get from this experience, I hope it is a relationships. The other thing is academics. We do have rigorous academics here on campus. We strive to make this place a place of learning, not just for actually for everybody. For everybody. That is what we strive to do. We want you to ask your questions. We want you to ask questions that are tough. Questions that sometimes baffle your professors. I remember asking a few of those questions on international policy, and my professors pretty much said, I don't know. And we had conversations later on to understand international policy in the Middle East. We did a lot of research in regards to those situations, and really and realities as well. So we want you to know that academics is rigorous on this campus. Come prepared to do your homework. Coming from someone who's been in the classroom, that is something I want you to do. Make sure you do your homework. It's very important. Do a lot of research. Ask questions. It is easy to think that your opinion does not matter coming from outside of the U.S. But to me, I think that the value of the Whitworth education has to do with having a variety of people on this campus and asking tough questions and engaging in conversation. So really do ask your questions. Don't hide in the back. It does not help this campus community if you're just silent. So voice your opinions. Okay?
That's great.
That's my gist.
Thank you, Ellen. Well, I think what we'd like to do now is answer some of your questions. I'm going to be able to stay for about another 10 minutes until my next appointment. We have a few that have already been sent in, but in the meantime, if there are questions particularly addressing more institutional issues, philosophical issues at the university, I'd be happy to address those, and then between these three wonderful people, I'm sure all the other questions can be answered as well. So, Ellen, I think you're going to maybe receive some online questions, and then we have some as well that have already been sent in.
Well, should we, while Elon's looking, should
Yeah.
we just do,
Yes, we can maybe start.
why don't you do the first one, Greg?
Okay. So one question I received said, the U.S. is so different from my country, and there are few students from my country at Whitworth. How can I fit in? And what does Whitworth do to support international students and help them adjust? For us, in looking at international admissions, we purposely choose to recruit throughout the world. We want students from many different countries. And we hope by having a few students from many countries that you will interact a lot with other international and American students. But you don't have to figure out how to do this alone. Of course, it's going to be a significant adjustment if you're coming from another country and suddenly you're on, you're in the United States, you're starting university, you're going to classes, and it's a very different system. And we have a lot of support for that. There's the International Education and Intercultural Center in this building. I'm one of the international student advisors, so you can come to me with any questions that you want, whether it's academics, student life, immigration. We also have Lulu Gonzalez, who is also one of our international student advisors, and she plans a lot of activities for international students and students from other intercultural groups. And we have, of course, Sue Jackson. We are all available to you. We're all in one building. And, if you are having challenges with your classes, for example, our professors, they are there for you. They have office hours. You can ask them questions and they will help you. We also have a student success team. So if you begin to have struggles, we will work together with you to help you. And best of all, in the residence halls, you will have your student leaders, your resident assistants, and cultural diversity advocates. These are students, and they have encountered the same challenges that you have encountered in adjusting to life at college. And for some of our cultural diversity advocates who are international or come from varied intercultural groups, they have been through challenges that you have been also, and they know how to help you, and they can provide resources for you or tell you where you can get information and help that you need. But we also want you to feel, really welcome and just enjoy yourself. So we have a lot of activities that are planned throughout the semester and year. Our president talked about the International Festival, which is a lot of fun. But we also have monthly birthday parties for all the international students. We celebrate the holidays of different countries and traditions. And here at the International Center, we love food. We love to eat and get together and talk and enjoy each other's company. And so, you know, you can come by anytime. There's usually something going on or somebody to talk to. So we try to create a very warm and helpful and supportive atmosphere for all our students.
I'd like to add one thing. You have all, I'm sure, received information about the pre-orientation. So you're mostly arriving on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then on Thursday and Friday is pre-orientation, and that is just for international students and a few other different categories of student. And that is so that you can get to know each other first before everybody else gets here. Because especially on the Saturday of that first weekend when all the new freshman students arrive, that can feel very overwhelming. So we ask you to come here early so you can get to know each other and have a peer group, and so that we can get to know you before everybody else arrives. And I do exit interviews with exchange students, and they all say how helpful it is to have friends that they've already made so early on in their experience. So I think you will enjoy that. And also, part of this question was, how do I fit in? Part of pre-orientation, the student leadership will tell you specific things about Whitworth and give you some clues about how to live here in a happy and a successful way. So, any questions at all?
Nothing so far.
Okay, well, we can move on. There was a question about international health insurance, and is that mandatory? The answer is yes and no. If you are an exchange student, you are most likely coming through ISEP, in which case you've already bought your health insurance. If you're not coming through ISEP, but through one of our reciprocal partners, like Hong Kong or Maastricht or Aix-en-Provence, you do have to have health insurance. And we have health insurance available for you that costs $1,053 or something. But if you can show us that you have comparable coverage coming in, we can let you use your insurance, but I have to see that and approve it. Otherwise, we will make you buy Whitworth's insurance. If you're not an exchange student and you're coming here for your degree, you do have to have our health insurance for that $1,053.
We have some other very practical questions from students, and one of them is, should I bike to my classes or should I walk? How big is the campus? And the answer is, a lot of students walk, some bike, some use skateboards. So there are many ways to get around. It's not a very big campus. But, you know, if you have 2 minutes to get from your dormitory or your residence hall on one side of campus to your class on the other side of campus, it could be helpful to have a bike.
But please don't ride your bike on the ice in winter.
Yeah, that won't work out too well. But you mentioned the ice in winter. It does get a little cold here, so when you come, especially for those of you who come from very warm climates where you are not used to ice and snow, be prepared to buy some good warm winter clothes and a very warm winter coat. You won't survive without it.
We should mention, though, that it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Yes,
so.
Yes, it is very hot today. So and we're noticing our air conditioning is not working as well as it could be. Okay. One of the students also asked if when they come to the United States, when you fly here, if you have to change planes in the U.S., do you need to get your luggage and go through that process again? And the answer is yes. Well, you'll have to go wherever you land in the United States. You have to get your luggage and you have to go through customs. And I would like at this point to stress the importance of having all your documents with you. And by with you, I mean on your person with you on the plane, not in your luggage somewhere, you know, down where the suitcases are, but actually with you. So just in case your luggage doesn't make it, be sure to have, most importantly, your I-20, your letter of acceptance from Whitworth, your financial aid award letter from Whitworth, your financial documents, and your passport. If you're missing one of those documents and you have a really nice, sympathetic U.S. Customs agent, you might get in and they might give you a temporary stamp on your I-20, and you'll have to go through a process to you know, send further information to them, or they might turn you around and send you home on the next plane. Don't be that student. Have all your documents with you, and keep track of them in the airport. Airports are big. Sometimes things get lost or stolen. Know where your items are at all times.
Ellen, do we have any questions?
We actually have one question from Ireland.
Yay! This has to be Neve. Hi, Neve. Okay. Can we leave? Yes, you can. So if you go, for other students, can the other students see this, Ellen?
Yes, they can see it on
Oh, great.
You might read the question just to make sure.
Sure. So if we choose to fly home for Christmas, can we leave some of our belongings on campus instead of taking them home just to bring them back? Absolutely. The dorms close, as I know that you know, because I told you, but that doesn't mean you have to move out of your room. So you can leave absolutely everything in your room and go home just with presents for your family. And then come back with lots of Cadbury's chocolate for us. But no, you don't have to move anything out of your room. Right? So.
I tell you what, I think I'm going to leave now. I'm sorry I have to run to another meeting, but I know that Marie and Sue and Ellen can handle all of your other questions. Again, let me just say how very excited I am personally to welcome you to Whitworth. I look forward to seeing you during your pre-orientation and quite a few times, I'm sure, during orientation week. I look forward to getting to know each one of you, and I certainly wish you the absolute best as you prepare for your transition to Whitworth. So thanks for inviting me. Good to see everyone, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we have another question. Maybe we'll move forward a bit now.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay. Great. And this was a question about the international banquet, which I have mentioned to the exchange students. Sorry, we were getting squished with that. There we go. More details about the event. So this is entirely put on by the International Club. So the leaders of the International Club will tell you about it as soon as you get here. And what happens is the students agree, sort of by definition, you are a member of the International Club. And the students come up with a theme for the year. Last year it was sort of a pre-World Cup soccer kind of a theme. Anyway, so there's a theme. And then what happens is the dining hall has two kind of main areas in it, and our food service really goes to town making wonderful food from all over the world. And it's kind of in different places. So the whole campus gets invited to the food part of this. It is a ticketed event, but students with a meal card, which is all of you, get, so all the students who live on campus with a meal plan will be coming to eat the food. You could be invited to contribute some recipes that our food service would make that is representative of your culture. But then after the food event, there's an entertainment event. And so I did mention maybe bringing some traditional clothing. Part of the entertainment is always an international fashion show. So you could then come in wearing what it is representing your country. But you don't have to do that. Also, at least for one part of the, for more than one part of the banquet, you come in with your flag. So I know we have actually several Germans, and so the Germans are going to have to wrestle each other to see who gets to carry the flag. But if it's only you from your country, you will carry the flag from your country, which is great. The entertainment is anything that we can persuade you to do. Hopefully it's cultural. You might want to sing a song that Oh, goody. Hi, me. Sorry, I'm getting hopefully it's cultural, representing your culture. But if you just want to do a skit, sometimes the students will get together and do a skit on how they have experienced American culture or Whitworth culture. And that is really fun for us to see how you perceive us.
Yes.
What else about the banquet?
You know, it's really fun. The talented singers among you have put on some very, very fun songs. And I know for the past couple of years, some of our students from assorted African nations have done traditional African dances that has just been wonderful to watch. But really, you know, it's a matter of your imagination and your willingness to contribute. And it's always wildly popular. There are always more people there than there are seats, because, you know, it's you know, everyone wants to see, you know, see what you will present that is part of your culture. And you know, it's just a great opportunity to show us a little bit about yourselves.
But I do want to say something though.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a very shy person, please don't feel pressure.
Right.
We would love you to come and eat the food and blend into the background if you want, or be slightly prominent, perhaps. But please don't feel pressure to perform if that's something you don't want to do. Elon, what was that question that just popped up there?
Great. This question is, it says, how does a meal plan work for ISEP students?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pull it up again.
Okay, so if you're an ISEP student, by definition, you are getting a meal plan B. And there are two, if you've delved deeply into the, hi Leah! If you've delved deeply into the food services section of the website, you can see that there are actually two versions of Meal Plan B that cost the same. And because it costs the same, we don't mind if you try it one way, and if you don't like it, then you can switch it. But basically, there's a version where you go into the dining room for 3 meals a day, and there's a thing called Flex Dollars. And Flex Dollars is, well, let me backtrack. First of all, when you get your Whitworth ID card, that is the most precious thing you're going to have in terms of living on campus, because it gets you into your dorm. Your dorm is locked. It gets you into the library to check things out of the library, and it is also what is going to get you into the dining room. Your meal plan is on there. So every time you go into the dining room, you swipe your card, and that meal gets taken off your allowance. So if you choose one of the versions of Meal Plan B, you go into the dining room 3 times a day, have a meal, and that's it. With a few numbers of Flex Dollars. And Flex Dollars is money you can spend in the coffee shop or other places where food is available for sale on campus. There's another version of Meal Plan B where you go into the dining room a fewer number of times and you've got a lot more Flex Dollars. So it all depends how you feel about the food in the dining room, really. The better deal of the two in terms of amount of food and value for money is the one where you go into the dining room 3 times a day and have fewer Flex Dollars. But if you never eat breakfast, and if you really love the cappuccinos we make in the coffee shop, you might want to try a different combination of that. One thing you Europeans, actually maybe most of you, you're going to have to get used to is dinner time on campus here is very early. And you're just going to have to get used to that, and we're sorry.
Well, and speaking of dinner and meals, one of the questions that was sent to us by Ana in Mexico is, what's the food like at Sodexo? Is there much variety? And the answer is yes. They're very cognizant in our cafeteria of the fact that students have many different preferences, and so you know you can get sandwiches, you can get the typical burgers and fries that a lot of international students think of when they think of American food, even though there are a lot of us who don't eat burgers and fries very often or at all. There's vegetarian food, there's gluten-free food, there's food from different types of ethnic cuisine, from Asian to Italian to Mexican, and you can eat as healthy as you want. You can eat something different every day, or you can eat as unhealthy as you want. And at all meals there is a lot of variety. I myself like their salad bars, where they have so many different things you can put on the salads, and that you can make a whole meal just from a salad if you want. But there's something there for everyone.
There really is, but I have to say, students get sick of the food, and sort of going in that room 3 times a day for 3 months for some exchange students, a year for other exchange students, 4 years for some other students, you do tend to see the same stuff over and over again. But when you first get here, you'll probably be amazed, and you'll think the food is wonderful. And after a few months, you might think it's still pretty good, but it's not as wonderful as you originally thought it was.
So be prepared, therefore, to buy some snacks or make some food for yourself. There are kitchens in the residence halls that you can use. We have large supermarkets that are within walking distance of campus. You can get many kinds of food in Spokane. And don't forget the best thing of all, which is to have your family send you packets of foods that you like to eat at home, and bring some of those with you. I know you'll be bringing a lot of luggage, but especially to get you through those first weeks, bring some comfort food with you, some kind of cookies or snack food that you like, or instant food that you like to eat, so that, when the food all seems too strange and everything seems too strange for you, and you just want the cookies that you like, or the instant noodles that you like, you'll have them there.
Shall we do the internship question? Any more questions, Elon, from you?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
So, question that we have asked was about internships. Can students do internships? And the answer is yes. Internships are not only allowed, but especially for those of you who are degree-seeking students coming here, there are a lot of majors that encourage or require internships. And so I would also encourage you to take advantage of it. For international students, we call internships curricular practical training. That is the legal immigration term for it. And as with everything else related to your coming here and being here, there's immigration paperwork that must happen, but it's a quick and easy process that you can talk to me about. So, we have many kinds of internships. You can do internships in the U.S., you can seek internships abroad. We have and have had students doing research for the Washington Small Business Association, to research to help small businesses in Washington State connect with international companies abroad. Washington State, you may not know, is the second largest agricultural exporter in the United States. There is an enormous amount of trade happening between Washington State and especially Asia and Pacific Rim countries, but not exclusively. So trade is big. Also, technology is big in Washington State. So, if you're a student who's doing engineering or computer science or anything technical related, Washington, it's home of Microsoft, home of Boeing, home of a number of very prominent global corporations where our students seek internships. So you can either do a full-time internship during the summer months legally while classes are not in session, or you can do an internship up to a certain number of part-time hours, depending on what is, what your program will allow you to do and what our federal regulations allow you to do. And when you come here, I will have an immigration session with you to give you just some basic information on work and what kinds of work you can do and can't do, or when you can do it and when you can't do it. But yes, we encourage internships. We have an internship office that helps students and works with us, but there are a lot of possibilities in Spokane. Costco Corporation is another one. They have a fabulous internship program. They regularly hire our students, and best of all, they pay exceedingly well. So it's a good place to look. You do have to be here for at least a full academic year before you can do an internship. But other than that, as long as you are approved for the internship by your department and it relates directly to your program, yes, you can do internships.
Great, and Leah, I was going to say I can see that. Oh. Hi again, Leah. I was in fact going to tell you something about, or tell you and other ICEP students who might be online, about internships as well as working on campus. So the first thing I want to say is, if you're an ICEP student and you're coming for one semester, you can stay in the States for another 3 months doing some kind of a job anywhere, not only on campus, but anywhere. If you're coming for a whole year, you can do that for 9 months. So we can talk about that when you get here. But in the meanwhile, if you want to work on campus, there are plenty of jobs around. And there's, in fact, even a job part of our website. So I'll try, in fact, I'm going to make a note to send it to all of you.
Can you post it on our Facebook page also?
Sure.
Thank you.
To see what kinds of jobs you can get on campus. Right now, if you go in there, it will probably look a little bit empty. But as the semester begins, it will get more and more full. But some of our students have worked in the library. Some of our students have worked in our wonderful, they call it UREC, which is the recreation center. It's like the gym with a climbing wall and all kinds of things. Some departments hire student help. You can always get a job in the food service. So Sodexo is a separate company, but they are on campus, and so it counts as an on-campus job. What else? What other categories of job?
Financial aid office.
You can work. Yeah, Ella worked in financial aid.
Tutoring, yeah.
Yeah, for the admissions office.
Yes. Okay, language people. So Leah is a French language person. We have Germans coming in. And those of you
Spanish speakers.
And Spanish speakers, and maybe the Chinese, the Mandarin speakers. We want to hire you because when we teach these languages on our campus, the students go to class with a professor, but then they have to go to what is called a language lab. And that is where the students have to be in a small group with a language lab leader speaking the language. And we like to hire native speakers of those languages to teach our language labs, or to be teachers' assistants, or both. So that's another kind of job that we can offer you on campus.
And you can start working almost immediately after classes start, though you are required to get a Social Security card. But I would also just like to add that, there is a job fair that Saturday of the week you come in, where different departments tell, have information about the work that they have. And we always tell the international students, don't wait. As soon as the website is running and the jobs are posted, apply to 5 or 6 of them. So get your resumes ready. And some of the jobs, not many, but there are some jobs that will ask for a cover letter. So brush up on your skills. And in fact, I will send you will send the link. I can send the handbook on how to write resumes and cover letters that is put out by our career service. It's very valuable information for when you do apply, also for internships and later jobs. Learn how to write a good resume. It can make the difference between getting hired or not. But my main point is don't wait until a month has passed and then think, oh, maybe I'll look at jobs now, because the jobs will have been taken by the people who will be jumping right on it to apply and work on getting jobs, okay?
And I wanted to say something. Marie said you have to get a social security card. Yes, you do. Yeah. But don't worry if you're sitting there going, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to do that. That's all right. We take you to the office and we tell you everything you need to do to get one. So that's right. Okay. There was a question about safety.
Yes.
Campus itself is extremely safe. It's small. It's in a residential neighborhood. And a new feature that we've only had for about a year now, you will find as you are on campus various big poles with a blue light on. That is, if you are ever feeling not safe, you can go to one of those poles and press a button and security will come to get you. You can also make, so that you can do if you really are feeling worried right now. There's also a phone call you can make from those places or from anywhere. You can call our security office, and let's say you've been visiting a friend in a dorm and you want to, and your dorm is way the other side of campus and it's now 3 o'clock in the morning and you really don't want to walk there by yourself. If you can't find a friend to walk with you, you can call security and they will walk with you from your one dorm to another dorm. So that's one thing. But it really is a very safe area around here. And Spokane in general is pretty safe. So I wouldn't worry if I were you. It's, yeah. And we will give you briefings about various aspects of safety too.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Well, do we have any other questions, Ellen? Well, if there are no further questions, I'm sure you'll probably think of some as soon as this web chat ends, because that's usually how these things go. You are always welcome to email Sue or me, or you can post your questions on Facebook, as quite a few of you have been doing. But either way, just ask us. We don't want you to be confused. We believe the more information you have, the less stressed you will feel when you get here. No question is a dumb question, so don't hesitate to ask. We're really thankful that you have joined us for this event, and we wish we could do it in person, but in about 6 weeks or so we'll be able to do just that because you'll be here. I would like to leave you with one request, and that is please send us your flight information. And your flight numbers and date of arrival, whether it's the 26th or 27th, because we have a lot of students coming in. Almost all of you want to be or need to be picked up from the airport to campus, and we need to organize our shuttle schedule. So this will be your first opportunity to meet a Whitworth students, because we have drivers who are certified to drive our vehicles, and they will come and pick you up. But we need that information as soon as possible. So you can email it to either one of us. It doesn't matter if you're an exchange student or a matriculating student.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I want to add my thank you for being here. For some of you, it's kind of late at night.
Yes.
But you're students, so you're used to that. Anyway, so thank you for joining us, and we're so looking forward to meeting you.
Yes. Goodbye.